My name is Erin, and I am so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me, because today we are doing my September TBR and talking about some of my September video plans. So let's just get right on into it. So on my August TBR video, I asked for recommendations on how to kind of, keep my TBRs not feeling stale or like I'm just blabbing on the entire time. And I got this comment where it says that I should predict my ratings for each of the books, and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I have all of the books on my hopeful list grouped by what I think I will rate them. And yeah, if I decide to read a book that is not listed in this video, I will put my prediction either on screen or come on and talk to you about it in whatever video it is. So that way when we go do our wrap up at the end of September, we have predictions for all of these and we can talk about whether I was right or I was wrong. So I'm super excited to try this idea, see how it works. Be sure to let me know what you think about it in the comments and if this is something that I should, continue doing. So with all that being said, we have a lot of books to get through. Let's just go talk about it. The first group of books that I have are books that I think I'm going to rate 3 stars. Just a solid 3-star rating. The first book in that category is The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. And the reason why I think I would give this a 3-star is, let me actually tell you about the book first and then we can talk about our reasons. So this synopsis says, Alessandra is tired of being overlooked, but she has a plan to gain power. Number 1, woo the Shadow King. Number 2, marry him. Number 3, kill him and take his kingdom for herself. No one knows the extent of the freshly crowned Shadow King's power. Some say he can command the shadows that swirl around him to do his bidding. Others say they speak to him, whispering the thoughts of his enemies. Regardless, Alessandra knows what she deserves, and she's going to do everything within her power to get it. But Alessandra's not the only one trying to kill the king. As attempts on his life are made, she finds herself trying to keep him alive long enough for him to make her his queen, all while struggling not to lose her heart. After all, who better for a Shadow King than a cunning, villainous queen? So, if I'm not mistaken, this is a YA fantasy romance, and that's part of the reason why I think I would give this a 3-star, and also because I've heard kind of varying opinions on Tricia Levenseller, especially this book, and this is one of the oldest books on my TBR, and I just feel like something has kind of dissuaded me from picking this up. I've owned this for at least 2 years and I'm just now getting the urge to pick it up because The Darkness Within Us or whatever it's called just came out. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Some of these predictions, I will say, there's really no rhyme or reason. It's just a gut feeling, and I'm just gonna go with that gut feeling. I'm not gonna try to think about it too hard. I'm just gonna roll with it. So yeah. My next 3-star prediction is The Adult by Bronwyn Fischer. It's a literary fiction about a college freshman and a mysterious older woman. And it says, 18-year-old Natalie has just arrived at her first year of university in Toronto, leaving her remote, forested hometown for the big and personal city. Everyone she encounters seems to know exactly who they are. She reads advice listicles and watches videos online and thinks about how to fit in, how to really become someone, whoever that may be. And then she meets Nora, an older woman who takes an unexpected interest in her and is drawn unstoppably into Nora's orbit. She begins spending more and more of her time at Nora's perfect tidy home in her beautiful quiet world. Natalie lies to her floor mates about her absence, inventing a fake off-campus boyfriend, and carefully protects this sacred adult relationship. This only deepens her obsession, even as she comes to suspect Nora is hiding something. As the secrets multiply and the intensity of the romance threatens to overwhelm her, Natalie realizes that the new adult identity she had imagined for herself is far from the one she's actually come to know. And I have my worries about this, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about the age gap situation. I usually don't like age gaps because I find them creepy, and why can't we just write people who are closer in age. So I think that is what is holding this one at the 3-star rating for me. I'm hoping that this doesn't give me the ick, but I can't be certain. So we're gonna give it a try though. Now we are moving into our 3.5 star rating predictions, and the first one is The Bookbinder's Guide to Love, and this is by Katherine Garbera. And this says, as a lonely foster kid, Serafina Conte sought refuge in handmaking journals and writing her wishes within their pages. Now, in the quirky New Age store she shares with her 2 best friends, Sarah's intentions have paid off. Her journals are in the spotlight and rumored to manifest great things. Whether it's witchy skills, real magic, or not, Sarah's finally ready to be the leading lady of her life story, until her plot hits a twist. After the death of her mentor, Ford Sitwell, all the loneliness and insecurity of her past returns. The only balm is the box of antique books he left to her. But Ford's suspicious, brooding grandson Wes is ready to think the worst of her and get his grandfather's books back. The first part doesn't bother her. The second, forget it. Sarah won't give Wes the books so easily. But it's clear he's seeking something more, an emotional connection no book can replace. So she offers a deal. Work in her store for 6 weeks, and in return, she'll help him get closure by sharing memories of his late grandfather. Yes, Wes seems grumpy, but actually he's hot and maybe kind. Deep down, and when desire and vulnerability work their charms, Sarah begins to wonder if the best stories aren't the ones you intend, but the ones that take you where you least expect it. So, yeah, this sounds like it has a possibility to be really cute. I love books about bookish people and bookish things. So, I don't know. 3.5 is not a bad rating. That's just what it's given. Next up for our 3.5 star predictions, we have Lilith, and this is by Nikki Marmery. And this is like a retelling historical fantasy type situation. And it says, before Eve, there was Lilith. Lilith and Adam are equal and happy in the Garden of Eden, until Adam decides Lilith should submit to his will and lie beneath him. She refuses and is banished forever from paradise. Demonized and sidelined, Lilith watches in fury as God creates Eve, the woman who accepts her submission. But Lilith has a secret. She has already tasted the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Endowed with wisdom, she knows why Asherah, God's wife and equal, the queen of heaven, is missing. Lilith has a plan. She will rescue Eve, find Asherah, restore balance to the world, and regain her rightful place in paradise. So, it says, inspired by ancient myths, suppressed scriptures, Lilith is a thought-provoking and ambitious novel with an evocative literary voice and a triumphantly engaging heroine. And I don't know, I find things like this interesting. I'm not saying whether there's truth to any of this, or, this is a work of fiction. So, fiction is not true. Anyway, not giving that lesson. But yeah, this just seems interesting to me. I love retellings. I love seeing things reimagined. And I don't know, Lilith isn't someone that I've heard a whole lot about. I've seen bits and pieces, but I just kind of want to, I don't know, this seemed interesting to me, and I just wanted to see what it was about. So yeah, let's give it 3.5, just because if it teeters too far on the history side of things, that'll kind of take me out of it. But if it's moving along and it's, well paced, I think I could really enjoy it. And the last book in the 3.5 star prediction section belongs to Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It says, long ago the world was destroyed by gods. Only 9 cities were spared. Separated by vast wilderness, teeming with monsters and unimaginable dangers, each city is now ruled by a guardian, a royal who feeds on mortal pleasure. Born with an intuition that never fails, Karissa knows her talents are of great value to the power hungry of the world. So she lives hidden as a courtesan of the Baron of Archwood. In exchange for his protection, she grants him information. When her intuition leads her to save a traveling prince in dire trouble, the voice inside her blazes with warning and promise. Today he'll bring her joy. One day he'll be her doom. Karissa must choose, follow her intuition to safety or follow her heart to her downfall. I don't really know anything about Jennifer L. Armentrout's writing or about her books. I know some people love From Blood and Ash. I know some people hate From Blood and Ash. So I don't really know, and I can't really tell where I'll stand. I think I will at least enjoy this. So we'll see. Now we are moving into our 4-star ratings and our predictions. The first book that falls into this category will be Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin. And this says, Love Isn't Always by the Book, and this charming romantic comedy about a bookseller discovering how to be the main character in her story. As a self-proclaimed book hater and a firm believer that the movie is always better, Drew Young didn't anticipate inheriting her grandma's bookstore, the Book Nook. She's in way over her head even before the shop's resident book club, comprising 5 of the naughtiest old ladies ever, begins to do what they do best, meddle. Best-selling author Jasper Williams is a hopeless romantic. When he meets Drew at his Book Nook signing event, he becomes determined to show her the beauty of reading. He curates a book bucket list in exchange for her help exploring the local Denver scene for his current manuscript. From going river rafting to trying local restaurants, Drew begins to connect with Jasper in a way she thought only happened in fiction. And this sounds really cute. I love bookish books. I love books about bookish people, romance. Like, this sounds like it'll be a 4-star for me. There's nothing about this book that is telling me that I won't like it. So let's hope it keeps that same energy. My next 4-star prediction is What a Match by Minnie Grace. And this says, sometimes what you're looking for is right under your nose. Meticulous and driven, Gwen Gilmore knows what she wants, especially in a man. She is newly single and doesn't have time for lackluster chemistry or mixed signals. But the dating scene proves to be slow and unserious, and she realizes she may need some help. Professional help, a matchmaker, to be more specific. Like, this cover tells me that I'm going to enjoy this book. This cover is giving 4 stars. That matchmaker, I love me a little matchmaker, 4 stars. Like, everything about this book is screaming, Erin, you will enjoy this book. And I'm really hoping that it's actually higher than 4 stars. I just didn't want to, I didn't want to have to eat my word. I did give Make a Scene, which is the first book I think in the series by Minnie Grace. I gave that 4 stars. So I feel like, it's safe to put What a Match in that same category as well. And my last 4-star prediction is Love at First Book by Jenn McKinlay. And this says, when a librarian moves to a quaint Irish village where her favorite novelist lives, the last thing she expects is to fall for the author's prickly son, until the story becomes one for the books. Emily Allen, a librarian on Martha's Vineyard, has always dreamed of a life of travel and adventure. So when her favorite author, Siobhan Riordan, offers her a job in the Emerald Isle, Emily jumps at the opportunity. After all, Siobhan's novels got Em through some of the darkest days of her existence. When Siobhan's health takes a bad turn, she's more determined than ever to finish her novel, while Kieran tries every trick in the book to get his mother to rest. Thrown into the role of peacemaker, Emily begins to see that Kieran's heart is in the right place. Torn between helping Siobhan find closure with her series and her own growing feelings for the mercurial Irishman, Emily will have to decide if she's truly ready to turn a new page and figure out what lies in the next chapter. And y'all, my dream one day is to live in Ireland. So having a bookish book set in Ireland, 4 stars. 4 stars. Okay. I lied. I had one more 4-star. It just got lost in the stack. And that is A Wolf Steps in Blood by Tamara Jeree. And this says, Yasmin is a red wolf girl stuck in rural Alabama. Her world is small. Pick up shifts at the greasy late night diner and endure her pack's petty squabbles. She's not good at being a wolf or being human, directionless in life and disconnected from her ancestors. After an accident threatens the wolf's secrets, Yasmin has no choice but to join Kalta on the road, carving a path through the South's back roads and hoping the magic burn between them is enough to overcome their bloody past. And Black romantasy, this is sapphic, and my only holdup with this is that I am usually not a werewolf girly. And so that's the only reason why this isn't a 5-star prediction for me. But, it's fine. I'm hoping that I won't mind the werewolves in this and I'll still have a really good time. So that's why it is sitting at the 4-star mark. Now for real this time, moving into the 4.5-star predictions. And I only have 2 of these. The first one is one that has been making the rounds on every bookish community site ever. And that is Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. And I don't even really feel like I need to give a synopsis for this book because it has been everywhere. Everybody has been reading it. And I'll just say, enemies to lovers doesn't get more high stakes than a witch and a witch hunter falling in love. And yeah, y'all know what this is. And I feel like it's finally time for me to read it now that some of the hype has died down. And I feel like I can kind of, I have the space to make my own predictions. And I mean, not predictions, to make my own, I don't know what word I was trying to say. Perception, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, to have my own thoughts about this book. And I think that this will be a 4.5 for me, just from what I've been hearing everybody say. I haven't really heard a bad thing about this book. So, 4.5 prediction. My next 4.5 prediction is a very new release, and that is Mistress of Lies by K. Enright. It's a fantasy romance about the daughter of a powerful but disgraced blood worker. Cheyenne LeClaire has spent her entire life perfecting her blood magic. Now she takes her place at the head of the family. Her revenge will soon follow. Samuel Hutchinson is a bastard with a terrible gift, drawn into the world of dark magic and pulled deeply into the ravenous and bloodthirsty courts of the vampire king, and tasked by the eternal king to discover the identity of a killer cutting a bloody swath through the city. Samuel, Cheyenne, and a mysterious royal bloodworker named Isaac find themselves caught in a complicated web of desire, treason, and vengeance, as they must decide if the good of their nation is worth the price of their souls. This is queer, this is fantasy romance, this is, I think, vampires. I'm gonna have a good time reading this for sure. 4.5. And I'm only saying 4.5 because it's weak, but I'm saying that because I've never read anything by this author, and I just, I don't know. I am a little sensitive about my 5-star ratings because if I suck at predicting my own 5 stars, like, yo, that's embarrassing. Like, I don't even really know what I like. So, the fewer of those that I have to eat and that I have to be sad about, the better. So, 4.5. Alright, so last and certainly not least, we have our 5-star predictions of this September TBR, and I'm terrified of these. I'm terrified because I don't like being wrong. And this is something that I feel like I should not be wrong about. Like, I should know enough about what I like to read to be able to predict 5 stars. And it's a little more embarrassing because I'm putting this out on the internet, so like a lot of people will know if I'm wrong. But we're gonna do it anyway. So the first 5-star prediction of this September TBR is Masters of Blood by Karolina Wilde, and this is the first book in the Lethal Love series. Princess Lavanna, the only heir to the most powerful rulers in Ezreon, has never questioned her fate. Locked away in their father's royal palace, she has been tending to her gardens and her abundance of pets, patiently awaiting for the day when she has to become a queen. When her father arranges a marriage to the only other human king left in Ezreon, Lavanna has no choice but to agree. It is her duty as a princess and the future queen. But her perfectly planned future is suddenly threatened when the most powerful and dangerous vampire ruler from the north kidnaps her from her engagement party. When Lavanna finds herself alone in the wintry north, surrounded by bloodthirsty vampires at the mercy of a mysterious vampire king, she has to find a way to survive. Masters of Blood is a fantastical and romantic Hades and Persephone retelling, with seductive yet dangerous vampires, political court intrigue, and a dark high fantasy setting. This should be 5 stars. Next up, we have The Neighbor Favorite by Kristina Forrest. It's finally happening. I am finally reading this, and this is about a shy bookworm who enlists her charming neighbor to help her score a date, not knowing he's the obscure author she's been corresponding with. Shy, bookish, and admittedly awkward, Lily Green has always felt inadequate compared to the rest of her accomplished family, who strive for Black excellence. She dreams of becoming a children's book editor, but she's been frustratingly stuck in the nonfiction division for years without a promotion in sight. Lily finds escapism in her correspondence with her favorite fantasy author, and what begins as two lonely people connecting over email turns into a tentative friendship and possibly something else Lily won't let herself entertain, until he ghosts her without a word. Months later, Lily is still crushed, but she's determined to get a hold of her life, starting with finding a date to her sister's wedding. And the perfect person to help her is Nick Brown, her charming, attractive new neighbor who she feels drawn to for reasons she can't explain. But little does she know, Nick is an author, her favorite fantasy author. Nick, who has his reasons for using a pen name and pushing people away, soon realizes that the beautiful, quiet girl from down the hall is the same Lily he fell in love with over email months ago. Unwilling to complicate things even more between them, he agrees to set her up with someone else, though this simple favor between two neighbors is anything but, not when he can't get her off his mind. Period. 5 stars. 5 stars. Moving right along in our 5-star predictions category, we have Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. And this is a sapphic, cozy fantasy that is about, let's see. All Raina and Keontae want is to open a bookshop that serves tea while firelight drifts between the rafters. But Raina works as one of the Queen's private guards, and Keontae is the most powerful mage in existence. Living their lives isn't so easy. But after an assassin takes Raina hostage, she decides she's thoroughly done risking her life for a self-centered queen. Meanwhile, Keontae has been waiting for a chance to flee responsibility. All the better that her girlfriend is on board. Together they settle in Tawny, a town nestled in the icy tundra near Dragon Country, and open the shop of their dreams. What follows is a cozy tale of mishaps, mysteries, and a murderous queen, throwing the realm's biggest temper tantrum, while these two women discover just what they mean to each other and the world. Sounds super cute. You know I love cozy fantasy, make it sapphic, and 5 stars. And last, but certainly not least, in the 5-star prediction category of this September TBR is one that has been a long time coming. And that is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I'm finally gonna do it. I feel like people have been screaming, crying, throwing up over this book for the past year, if not 2 years. And I think I finally feel like I want to read it. At first I was like, I'm not giving into the hype. I'm not going to do it. That book can't be that good. But now I'm like, okay. It's a 5-star prediction now, so yeah. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this is about. But if not, I'll give you a little bit. Human or vampire, the rules of survivor are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king, Araya carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Araya is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain? I'm gonna say Rain. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He's a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Araya most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the throne of the House of Night brews, shattering everything that Araya thought she knew about her home. And Rain may understand her more than anyone, but their blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. 5-star prediction. And let's talk about how I just did the whole spiel about being scared of 5-star predictions, but that was the biggest category. They had 4 books. The other ones had 3 or fewer. So what was I talking about? Obviously I don't know. But I am excited to start September, to start the fall bookish content. Super excited. I'm going to be working on a video that I feel like it has a possibility to run a long time. And I'm very anxious about either running a long time or doing the opposite of that. We need somewhere in the middle. I know I'm being vague, that's on purpose. So that project is a little intimidating, but I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing it. And then I'm just gonna do, you know, some cozier videos, some cozier theme visits, some videos that lean more on the cozy side of things. They will be themed videos. I don't know if you can pick that up from the books that I've shown you, but yes, the goal is to have 3 themed reading vlogs come out by the end of September. Will that happen? You'll just have to wait and see. And with that, being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking and commenting and subscribing. Thank you for staying to the end. I hope you have the best day that you possibly can. And I hope that the fall season is good to you. I hope it is good to me. I hope it is good to all of us. And with that,